and Attica Speed.
Welcome back into the commentary booth, everybody. We have our second game of today. It's the men's third-place match between Forge and Swift. Forge in the black, Swift in the blue. Both these teams have played each other once in the tournament so far. Forge 0-4 on the tournament. Swift, they are 1-3, and their only victory came against Forge just over 24 hours ago. An 18-12 victory for Swift in the sunshine. So today it's a little bit different. Welcome back into the commentary booth. I'm Attica Speed. Annie Seaborn joining me here for the draw. Annie, I know we're excited for this one. I think we're expecting Swift to win today, no?
I'd be very surprised if Forge come through. They've been absolutely ravaged with injury and COVID issues, so they've got a very depleted squad. They've done excellent considering. They've seemed to hold the fort in the first kind of quarters, but from the previous matches, they seem to disintegrate towards the end of the matches.
Well, it's been hard, obviously. Forge only with 3 on the bench. 3 as well for Swift. Swift here starting with possession. Lewis Alhage taking it behind the goal, looking to spin around. He will try for the shot, tries to dump it over, and it's out. And that is going to be Forge ball. Explosive start to the game. And Annie, like you mentioned, both these teams ravaged by injuries. Both teams actually have coaches playing for them today. For Swift, Glenn Humphreys, number 33, is their captain on today. He's the assistant coach. And for Forge, number 75 on the bench, Joe Longley, with the best hair in the tournament. He is actually playing for them as well. So both teams are just trying to get through it right now. And we'll see who can come out on top here in the third place game today. Shot saved.
Good save.
Speaking of that save, that's actually another replacement for Swift. Christian Warren, number 77, in goal right now for them. He actually replaced Will McDonald, who hurt his knee in the first game of the tournament, and a shot there goes in. That's a first goal on the board, that one for Swift. Good start here today, Annie. Swift on top, 1-goal lead by Glenn Humphreys there. Rain is starting to come down more and more throughout the day. It's pouring right now. Forge looking to see if they can respond quickly. Behind the net, Perry looking for an option. He's got one. Halliday, shot, no. Good save.
Fantastic save. I'm surprised that they're going for bouncer shots considering the weather, because I don't think the ground lends itself for a good bounce. I say that though, the goal by Glenn Humphreys was a beautiful bounce.
Exactly.
I take that back.
We'll see who will try more of those bounce shots here. Looking for a shot, Swift. Can't take it, rifles one, and that one's gonna fall wide. That'll be Forge ball. Missed shot there by Corey Carver, number 20. Elliot Pugh restarts things for Forge. Pugh is part of the England box squad. Their main goalkeeper plays for London Knights as well. Forge behind the net. Looking for options. Far side, Joe Longley, the head coach, into the game for the first time. Longley looking to roll around.
That's where you see a bit more physicality than on the women's side.
You can see it. He's being shoved everywhere. The Welsh Wizard driving inside. No. Forced back. Takes the shot. Off the shoulder. Off the top of the net. And that one's going to fall out of bounds. Swift ball. 1-0. Swift in the lead. To the far side here. Glenn Humphreys, the assistant coach. Humphreys looks for an option. Have to dump it off instead. Swift, good spacing here. And that deep pass back is going to roll too far. That's going to be over and back, and that's a turnover, Forge ball. So, Annie, I mean, this has been a fast start. 3 minutes into the game, though, only 1 goal. Not what we expected out of these two teams who combined for 30 goals when they last played each other. Sloppy start so far.
Sloppy start. Lots of saves, though. The goalies are coming into their own at the moment.
Halliday. Alex Halliday for Forge, playing at Manchester Met University. At the top again. Forge driving around, trying to split inside. Quick pass, wasn't ready for it. That one falls through to the goalkeeper and out. Swift. Humphreys will slow things down, and Swift will take their time. Lewis Alhage on the far side. Alhage, the American, out of Castleton University here.
He's been outstanding this tournament.
He's been our key player to watch here today for Swift, Annie. He has been on fire for Swift. Their win that they had came in large part due to his goals. Flicks it back, looking for the shot. That one's going to be too high and out. And that'll be Forge ball once again.
And we were talking earlier, you're going to see a lot more kind of shots from out wide here in the men's game. I think it's something that the women's need to develop. It's just an unfamiliar territory for those who have grown up with the tennis-side game. But I think the Sixers are going to bring that in.
One thing you mentioned to me, Annie, good pass inside and a quick shot there. Albert Whitehead.
What a beautiful.
1-1. Long pass from crease to crease. That one's too far. Pugh grabs it. But one thing you mentioned to me before the game, Annie, is that both these teams, both men and women, because it's a 6v6 competition, the rules are really similar. Both teams are trying to play in similar ways. Both genders here in the sport, and it's really difficult because women have played such a different game so long. Men may be adapting to it a little better. On the run here, Corey Carver wide open. Carver one-on-one with Pugh, takes the shot off the post and out, and they got it back again.
Oh, and I'm wide.
Wow.
Still got it. Good block.
Finally, Forge come away with it, and we're still tied somehow after that mayhem.
Interestingly, I think we were chatting because I think the box across, which only in this past year really, that women have started to kind of slowly get into. I think the box across lends itself a lot more to the Sixers format, but we were discussing that. I think they're actually finding the defensive positioning a lot harder just because of the size is slightly off.
On the ball here once again for Swift. Swift, we've got a timeout called here by Swift, so both teams will head to the bench. And the head coaches will see what they can manage here out of the timeout. So 2:46 left in the first quarter, just 2 goals so far. And as you see Forge head to the bench there, you see their assistant coach, Gavin Donaldson, telling everybody to just calm down, play your game. If you're Forge right now, is that what you need to do, Annie? You just need to calm down and start playing your way, or what do you need to do?
Absolutely. Control the controllables, execute the simple passes. I mean, I know it's probably early to say because, as I said, the second half of their game matches has been what's let them down. But I mean, 1-1, I think they'll be happy.
Well, they'll be looking for more here. Obviously, Forge have really struggled with all the players they've been missing so far in the tournament. Their captain, Tom Rosser, was actually ruled out with COVID just a couple days before getting here. George Drury as well. He's part of that England box training squad. He broke his thumb on the first day here, so he's out. So they're going through all their players here have had to play nearly the entire game. And with 4 quarters, 8 minutes each, where the clock does not stop and you're constantly running, that is hard to go through. And both these teams have done well to reach the final here. Obviously, Swift beat Forge previously, but Forge looking to pay them back here today. Swift at the top. They'll restart here out of the timeout. Alhage sends it over. Behind the net. Thrown back to the top. Swift to reset. Working it around. They've just gone in the circle there. Looking to go inside. Behind the crease.
It's just raining hard.
Looking for an option. They've got one. Corner shot. And a good save from Pugh.
Pugh with a great save. Good, nice low save there. But an overthrow on the clear.
Good sweeper keeper work there from, oh no.
Oh no.
Christian Warren, then it falls out. Did it fall out of the net?
Oh, that's honestly a goalie's worst nightmare. At least he was out of the goals. The amount of times I've seen it in the goal and it's just rolled back in.
There are worse ways to lose it than that. That's true.
And that'll be the rain playing a little bit because it changes the strings on the stick.
Albert Whitehead now also plays England box. That one's going to be too far. That's going to be over and back. Swift ball again. Looking for the quick restart, and they'll be forced back.
So the reason for that is because in the Sixers game, you can't take, once the ball has gone into the attacking half, you can't take it back over. Hence why it was kind of an automatic turnover there.
Swift, restart once again. Humphreys, Carver, looking for the pass inside. That one's going to bounce off the deck and go too far. Another turnover, and again, Forge ball. So only 2 goals here, Annie. We're 6.5 minutes into the game. Where are all the goals coming from?
I know. It's the opposite of the women's match. What we've been seeing is there have been far more goals in the men's fixtures, but actually the women's was, 9 goals in the first quarter. And we're stuck with 2 here.
It's a methodical start here for both teams, looking for their spots, searching for the best advantage, best opportunity that they want. Chris Summers here. Summers juking around the defender, takes the shot. That one's going to go wide. That'll be Swift ball again. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter of play. We'll see maybe just 1 shot apiece for each team before the end. We'll see who can come out on top with it here. Alhage gets it over to Carver. Carver, a fellow American, along with Alhage. Carver flips it. Far side. Got it on the catch. Driving in. Tries to beat Pugh. Off the bar and out. Great defense. Great goalkeeping. Forced it over.
There was a great little toe drag, but unable to finish it off. Great save by Pugh there.
Pugh playing some inspired goalkeeping today. Told me he's got his 2 kids, Joshua and Phoebe, watching today. He'll be playing for them. And a great start for him so far. Both teams still tied. 15 seconds left to go. Forge driving around the perimeter. Goes behind the net. Takes the shot. Great block there from Warren right in his face. Forge pick it back up. 6 seconds left to go. And then it's a turnover there. So Swift ball, just about 5 seconds left. Probably won't get a shot away. And they're trying, but no.
Nope.
And that's how the first quarter will end, Annie. 1-1,
Wow.
just 2 goals throughout, some methodical play, and we haven't seen a goal in about 5-6 minutes time. Both these teams have played really well so far, I think.
I think so. It's been pretty even. The goalies have had a really good first quarter. As I said, great. There have been some good shots, but some of them are just like hitting the pipe, going slightly wide. I think Forge will be happy considering their run of 0-4, but it's, I don't know. We'll see how it pans out as the legs get more tired.
We're looking here we'll see if we can talk to anyone on the Forge side before we get over here for the start of the second quarter. We'll send it over to Chris on the sideline with Forge.
We're here with coach and player Joe Longley. Joe, before I get started, you've got some heavy scaffolding on your leg. Can I ask, are you applying to be the next Terminator?
Yeah, I'd take a mechanical knee if I could. It's ACL reconstruction, meniscus tears, all sorts. I've had about 3 or 4 operations between both of my knees at the moment, so I'm not quite built for the fast pace of the fly, but we're a bit short, so I've had to step up.
Fair play. How are you balancing that player-coach role?
It's been great. The squad's great. The lads have been brilliant and really taken to it and helped me to be able to do it, because there's a lot to take on as a coach and as a player and a lot to think about. So it's balanced well.
1-1 at the quarter, one for the purists. What do you need to do in this next quarter to take the lead?
Execute our game plan. Everything we spoke about, everything we've done all the way through leading up to it, we've got better every game, and we need to carry on.
Thank you. I'll leave it to it. Thank you very much.
Welcome back here for the start of the second quarter. Swift take possession after the opening draw, and we're ready to go here. 1-1. We'll see who can come out on top here in the second quarter and take that lead into the halftime break. Under 8 minutes left to go here. Moving it around. Swift. A lot more speed here on this play. They're definitely settling into the game, and that pass too hard. Rolls out of bounds. Forge ball.
So I think something you'll notice is that one of the changes in the Sixers is that actually what's traditionally called the men's face-off is actually being referred to as the draw here. But technically exactly the same thing.
Exactly the same thing technically, and only 4 of them throughout the game, once at the start of each quarter. That is all. Forge, behind the net, looking to move it. At the top, trying to find a shot, eventually gets it out, and a good save there from Warren as he rakes it back in. He's under pressure, he does get it back. So Swift now looking for some options. Corey Carver from Pennsylvania looking to bring it out here near the bottom of your screen. Carver back to the top. The reset once again with Josh Clegg. Josh Clegg's the development player for Swift in this tournament, but he has played almost every minute as he rifles that shot in. What a shot from Josh Clegg.
What a shot.
Well, Annie, he's won 2 finals this season in the Under-19s League and one with Rochdale as well. So he's on fire, and he's been showing that here today and throughout the tournament.
He's going to be the future of England lacrosse right there.
Behind the net, that one's going to be tipped out. That'll be Forge's ball still, tipped by Swift. So Josh Clegg, of course, he's 16 years old, and he's played such a big part of this tournament physically. He's matched up well to everyone here. Really impressive.
Definitely holding his own, well, more than holding his own. He's got the lead at the moment.
Got a bit of a stoppage of play here, looking to make sure all the clocks are reset correctly with the shot clock as well. Should about 20 seconds left on that clock for Forge here. Looks like they're just about ready to go. So head coach Joe Longley now for Forge. Throws it in from the back. Forge now moving it around, looking for an option, looking for that deep shot as well. Can't find it. Bottom of your screen, looking to move it inside towards the goal. Force back. Longley. Longley again takes the shot. Good save again.
Going for the one-handed like Ryan Huns did last year. Not quite pulled it off.
Here we go again. Swift, Josh Clegg. Clegg takes the shot. Good save down low by Pugh. 2-1, just over 6 minutes left to go. Forge looking for that goal to peg things back and tie it up once again. Chris Summers.
Summers battling through. He's had quite a nasty leg injury, but he's powering through. Oh, fantastic.
Wow. Good goal there, 2-2. A long pass, he's wide open. Can he take the shot? Finishes it well. Good one there. Another shot, another goal for Matt Boyd. Here we go again. Forge looking to respond quickly. Now they're starting to grow into the game. 3 goals here in the second quarter, and it's starting to go quickly. Forge moving around. Jack Brooks with it right now. Brooks wide open, far side, shot, got it. 3-3.
That was great use of the sub bench right there.
Came off the bench and nobody marked him. common in this 6v6 game I think we've seen, Annie. Alhage, and he's got it again. Both teams scoring immediately. 4-3, Swift back on top.
All starting to open up now. I think there's some tired legs and they're exploiting each other on the transition. A bit more settled now.
Jack Brooks will slow it down for probably the first time this quarter here for Forge. Summers behind the net, looks for an option, almost taken away, and a good save there from Christian Warren. Swift now looking to make a couple substitutions. They'll slow things down to let those happen. Going out to the far side here. Looking for an option. Doesn't see anything. Go back to him. He's behind the crease now. 4:39 left to go here in the second quarter. Coming around at the top. Wide open. Clegg looking for that shot. He scored a goal from there before, but no. Swift get it back. Swift running out of time. And we got a shot clock violation. That's going to be Forge ball. Looked like Swift thought the shot clock could reset, Annie, but didn't happen there.
Let's see if Forge can utilize this possession.
Forge now to restart things with Albert Whitehead. Whitehead part of that England box and Spencer lacrosse team who just won the England Championship. They'll be going to the European Cup in September in Barcelona. Whitehead. Now we're behind the net. Forge. What can they do here? Halliday flips it back at the top. Running out of time. Going to have to get a shot off soon. Shot from Whitehead is up. And it goes wide. Just beats the shot clock, but wasn't anywhere close. And Annie, Forge are really struggling to get close to that net right now.
Yeah, the Swift defence are holding them out. They're trying to turn the corner round the crease, but Swift are holding strong.
We've got a timeout called here by Swift, so both teams will head to the bench for some instruction from their coaches. 4-3, 3 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. So we've started to see some more goals here, Annie. Both teams started to climb back into it a little more, but I think so far Swift have been on top for a reason. They've played better defensively, and they really, whenever Forge have scored, they've scored immediately back on the counter.
Exactly. I think it's the tired legs are showing. It's that breakdown in transition. The Forge defence aren't able to get back following the goal, and then they've had, I think, 2 of the goals at least have been pretty much just an overlap, so like a 2-on-1 down in the attacking end. And they've executed those ones perfectly.
Well, they're both fighting hard for this game, of course. Both teams fighting to finish in third place here in this men's final today. Third place last year. Last year, Forge played in the final. They lost 13-12 to Rise. Swift lost in the final as well last year, 11-10 to Hustle. So Swift, they're trying to get that third place in this tournament, improve on last year's finish. Forge, of course, already knocked out of that final. They're here today looking for, their first win of the tournament as well here today. Swift beat them before by 6 goals. Obviously, no rain as part of that one, though, Annie. And I think rain's had a big impact so far. We'll see what it does here for the bottom of the second quarter.
Let's see how they come out this time out.
Swift moving it around. On the run, looking to juke inside. Lewis Alhage. Alhage got the shot off, and he's got it in the back of the net.
Beautiful bottom corner.
Just over the stick by an inch.
First 2-goal lead.
First 2-goal lead of the game. Jack Brooks runs behind the net. Brooks on the run. I think we need to fix something on the bench for the scorer's table.
Yeah, technical issue.
Yeah, it looks like more of a technical issue. No foul on anyone, I don't think. The players don't know what's going on. Neither does really anybody else apart from the referee in the middle of the field. I think we're trying to make sure. I'm not totally sure what they've had gone wrong. Looks like we've got some team sheets that say different names for some of the numbers.
Nope, they're playing on. Have they reset the shot clock? Not sure there.
Well, we're back underway. Under 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. That one's going to be reset in Christian Warren's hands. Here we go again. On the run for Swift. Glenn Humphreys. Humphreys with the stick in one hand. Slows it down. Behind the net we go.
So we're finding the men are playing a lot more behind goal, what we call kind of through X, than I think the women were.
Why do you see that difference in the men's and women's game, Annie?
I don't know. I was talking to some of the players, and I know the women were saying that they just don't want to waste time going behind goal when you've only got 30 seconds to play.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Whereas I think the men, because they can take on a bit more physicality, they can kind of push a little bit and drive behind from X. But no, it's quite an interesting thing that we've seen kind of develop.
We've definitely seen quite a few shot clock violations, actually. Both men and women have been struggling with that. The shot clock's been really fast. It's not, I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean it as it's been forcing teams to move forward quickly. It's been an impressive addition to this tournament, hence all the goals we've seen so far. And you're seeing it as part of the game today. They're having to take shots quickly and make the goalkeepers work.
Absolutely. 30 seconds. Oh,
wow.
Brilliant finish. Great taken composure there.
Great finish there from Kyle McQueen. He's getting his master's degree in cybersecurity from University of Birmingham, but can't lock him up on that one. Jack Brooks behind the net. Moves it out to the top once again. Summer shot. Too wide. Swift ball once again. So Swift now, Annie, they're starting to build into the lead, 6-3. They've doubled up the score, and I think you can sense the momentum's all going their way right now.
So even from this 30 seconds of the shot clock, we've got nearly 10 seconds already done. And they've only just started their attacking.
Humphreys to the top.
And now turnover.
Boyd loses it, and that one's going to roll out of bounds. This will be Forge ball. We'll make Whitehead go back to the halfway line and restart things. So just about one shot to come for both teams here at the end of the second quarter, depending on turnovers and possessions here, of course. How quickly both teams want to take a shot. Halliday takes it. That one's going to be wide. So Swift ball. We'll see how quickly they go. If they go quickly, they'll leave Forge with some time on the clock. If they slow things down, they'll probably get most of it gone. It looks like they'll go with the latter option. Humphreys, the assistant coach for Swift in this tournament. Boyd. Alhage. Alhage running around. Slips. Loses his footing. Gets back up. He's got the ball still. 15 seconds left to go. To the far side. Forge steal it away. 10 seconds to go. Can Forge take the final shot here? Whitehead, one-on-one. He's got two defenders behind him to help. Whitehead shot too high, and that one's going to roll out of bounds. So 6-3. The final whistle should come here for the end of the first half, and it will. 6-3. Swift doubling up the score on top with 16 minutes left to go. Annie, your thoughts after that first half of play?
Got a bit chaotic at the end.
Indeed.
Got a bit chaotic. Some really good ball movement. Lots of turnovers. I think it's to be honest, more of what I kind of expected based on the past 2 days, with kind of Forge starting to trail a little bit on the fitness and Swift getting all those turnovers. There's a few sloppy errors on both sides, a few loose balls, but more goals, and that's what we want to see.
Yeah, definitely so. We'll be hoping to see more of that here in the second half. Let's send it over to the Swift bench now. Chris, take us away. Who do we have on the bench there?
Aaron, 6-3 up at the half. How are you feeling?
Bit pressured, bit different with the rain today. Obviously sticks are being affected, but I feel we're in control. We're in control, and we'll get the win at the end.
But it's wetter than an otters pocket out there. You know, how is that affecting the match?
So passes that wouldn't have gone amiss yesterday and the day before. Now with sticks being a little bit, I'll say, temperamental, passes are going and shots aren't going where players would like.
Technically, how are you finding it, and what do you need to do to improve in this second half?
In the second half, we need to make sure we're aware of our sticks, making sure that we get them passes shorter and we get them shots hitting the deck, hitting the floor, and utilising the spin.
And how do you neutralise the threat of the Forge in the second half?
Communication. Communication all day with lacrosse, and get that communication up, get that defence working together as a team.
And what are you going to say to the boys when you go back into this half-time huddle?
Let's get the win. Let's get the win. Let's do what we've done for the last 2 days. I know we've been unfortunate with the losses, but they've been close games. Let's utilise what we know.
Good luck, and enjoy the second half.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back, everybody. We're just awaiting the start of the second half here. Just a couple of minutes left to come. As you've heard from the bench there, I mean, Swift enjoying the lead they have so far. Lots more still to come, though. 16 minutes left to play. So, Annie, I think as we look over at Forge here, who do you think has stood out for them? Where do they go here in the second half for the goals they need to get out on top?
To be honest, it's actually probably been their coach who's playing player coach. Joe Longley has been 2 outstanding shots. I'll be honest, he's looking a little bit tired on the bench over there, but he's just doing his own thing. But he's kept them in there. Albert Whitehead, nice calm head on him, and scored the other goal. But they are working together. It's just that execution. I think they're finding that the Swift are pushing them out, so they're not able to get closer. So they're taking a few wild wild shots from out wide that perhaps don't quite have the angles, or they're just not executing them.
It's definitely been a struggle for Swift to get inside, but in large part that's been due to the goalkeeper for Swift, Christian. He's just been fantastic. Number 77, Christian Warren for Swift. He's 24 years old. He's a bridge engineer as well. Coaches summer camps for lacrosse, and he is just, he's been fantastic. Called into action late after Will McDonald was hurt, and he has just been fantastic here for Swift. Has not let anything in today. Just the 3 goals, and he's kept Swift on top so far. So with 16 minutes left to come, Forge will need to find a way to beat him as they try to get back into things. They're down by 3. And they're looking for their first win of the tournament as well. Swift's victory over Forge in the group stage was the only victory that Swift achieved throughout the tournament. And Forge, that was the closest they got as well. So we're here for the draw at the start of the third quarter. We're just about ready to get underway. Referee aligning the sticks, making sure both are ready to go here. The rain's abated a little bit as well. We're going to have a turnover there.
Early draw, it looked like.
Forge start us off. Matt Hill. Hill with it, cradling the ball, goes behind. Halliday. Halliday, he's taking his time surveying for all his options. He's got one on either end. Goes to Chris Summers at the top of your screen. Once again, Matt Hill. Hill rolling inside.
Oh,
Hill shot, great save again from Warren down low.
oh,
Good
brilliant
interception.
intercept.
Jack Brooks on the pickoff. Sends it over. Shot low. Got it in the back of the net. Alex Halliday.
I take back everything I said about the bounce shot. It seems to be working for all the teams.
Well, Halliday knocked that one in for Forge, and now they're only up by 2. Are Swift. Forge with the ball once again here. Now that the rain started to slow down, Annie, I wonder if they're looking more for that. Rain has slowly abated from the start of the game in the first quarter. Now in the third, it's not here. It's just a wet, damp day, but only on the ground. Halliday at the top, stolen away. 1-on-1, here we go with the goalkeeper. Can he finish it? Clegg fakes, shoots, got it. Josh Clegg, another goal for him. Vital part of the Swift team so far. 7-4 lead. Longley.
And straight back into defense.
No kidding. He's going up against the biggest player on Forge's side. Knocked out of his hands. Swift on the run again. Corey Carver, can he go the distance? He's got an option next to him. Can he take the dump off?
Great speed there.
Sends
There
it back.
goes. Oh, where's his defense? Oh,
Got it.
Swift are pulling away with this one now.
They really are. And a great finish there from number 33, Glenn Humphreys, the assistant coach, England player for about 11 years. An impressive finish again. Annie, you can feel it. It's starting to slip away from Forge right now.
Absolutely. I think it's the youthful legs in the Swift team are taking it through, especially Clegg there. Up and down the pitch at No Tomorrow.
Can Forge get back into the game? Whitehead, shot.
Oh,
Great catch there from Warren again.
not quite the angle there.
About a 10-degree angle. You're not going to hit many shots from there. At the top, send it behind. Alhage looking for help. He's got plenty of time, and he knows it. Aaron Duckworth. Behind the net again. Swift is really taking their time here, looking for the spot they like most. And they're running out of time. They have to take a shot, and it's going to go wide. And out of bounds, that'll be Forge ball. So Forge finally getting a stop. But again, part of the issue for Forge is they're taking too long on these. Forge let that Swift attack go almost the entire 30 seconds, and they've got to stop. But with the number of players they have, Annie, I'm worried about the energy they're going to have here at the end of this tournament.
Yeah,
How much can they come up with?
You can see them lagging a little bit. It's a bit more stationary. They're not running back as much. But it's making harder on themselves. The Swift, I said lots of the Swift goals have come from a quick transition, whereas Forge are giving Swift time to settle in defence.
Halliday losing it. Carver, great defense, fighting for it on the ground. Longley knocks it back. Whitehead's got it. Albert Whitehead taking the shot on the ground, and it's going to go wide. Had a good shooting lane there, but again, I don't know if it's Christian Warren or just the rain throwing him off, but can't put a whole lot on target today, can Albert Whitehead. Carver, back to the top. Humphreys will look for help and slow it down. You can see Swift just content to run out the clock here. They know in the lead they can just hold things out.
Oh, great save by Pugh.
This will still be Swift ball after that save, but like you said, Anna, a great save. And they'll be needing more of that. Will Forge right now. Going for more. Behind the net. Dump off. Quick shot. Got it again. 9-4. Swift in the lead. And Annie, you mentioned it. Swift are just scoring on every quick play and transition they have. Ford struggling with those.
Exactly that. Exactly that. And I do wonder whether there might be a bit of a difference because in the men's
Good save.
in the men's field game, they have very specialised positions, even more specialised than the women's team. And I wonder whether it's
Oh, behind the back. Got it in the back of the net. What a shot and what a goal from Matt Boyd. Sorry, Annie. He just didn't want to let us finish.
no, absolutely stealing the limelight.
Matt Boyd actually told us before the game he collects stamps. That's part of his thing.
Right.
Stamping is authority on this game right now as well. 10-4, Swift on top. And again, apologies for cutting you off earlier, but you can just see it. I think Swift are adapting better to this style of play, and Forge are really struggling to match it.
They've got the flair. That was outrageous bit of skill. One of those, if he hadn't buried that one-on-one with the goalie, he would have never lived it down. He'd not be on his coach's good side.
Now, when you go to a timeout after, let's say they called a timeout here and he missed that shot, would people be making fun of you there in the huddle?
I think in the match, people would be like, "What on earth are you doing?"
Nice.
After the match, then yes, they'd be like, "I'm glad this is being filmed."
Fair enough.
But yeah, I was saying it's the men have very specialist positions. So you have your out-and-out attack, you've got your long stick defenders, and I don't know whether we're seeing a little bit of some of the attackers struggling maybe with a bit more of their defence from what I'm seeing. It might be just be tired legs,
Sure.
but it might just be unfamiliarity. If you're an attacker, you're an out-and-out attacker.
Yeah. Well, we definitely have seen that throughout this tournament. There's so much running going on. Probably 65% of the players here are midfielders more than anything else. So it's a big focus on players who can run and play with short sticks.
Absolutely.
Stolen away by Clegg. Clegg, once again, has a little pass. Oh, and he lost it. Lost the handle. Whitehead on the steal. Whitehead, away we go. They've got a 3-on-2. Can Forge take advantage? Albert Whitehead driving inside. Got a pass on the right. No. Takes the shot instead.
Oh.
Got it in the back of the net.
That was great patience.
That's the best play for Forge all game right there. Albert Whitehead played for 10 SEMLA, South England's men lacrosse league teams, and over 20 clubs overall. Well traveled, showing that experience here today with that great finish. 10-5, Forge down by 5. Swift at the top, shot, got it.
Shot.
How do you stop a shot like that, Annie?
Not a lot you can do. Not a lot you can do. That was what? Off-stick mid-hip height. At pace. And the other problem is they had the defenders on them, which almost creates a little bit of a screen, so it makes it a lot harder for the goalie to pick out the ball.
Lost in traffic there. Albert Whitehead now looking to restart things for Forge. Get it over to Thomas Porter. Porter driving inside. Porter, the Wales midfielder, will be forced behind. Summers a bit exasperated. Chris Summers wanted that pass, didn't get it. That one's going to be dumped off. That'll be Swift ball. Swift driving.
Oh, not the pass.
I think that pass needed to go a little further ahead. They do recover it anyway, though. Alhage picks it up, and Swift will slow things down. Bottom 2 minutes here of the third, 11-5. Swift on top. Alhage back. Here we go again with Boyd. Boyd once more. Shot needs to come soon. Gets it in. Alhage got the shot off. No. Still Swift ball, though, after the save from Elliott Pugh. But you can see it, Annie. Even though Forge have managed to get a stop on that, it's just taking too much time. Forge are sort of playing themselves out of the game here. You've got to get a little more aggressive, I think, right now.
Absolutely, and giving them another 30-second possession.
Swift looking for more. Alhage drives inside, on the deck, passes it off. And I think they're going to call a crease violation. Actually going to call a push on that one.
Push.
So this will be
Push on
Swift
Forge.
ball.
30 seconds. So something interesting actually in the sixes. So in the men's, you've always been able to shoot as long as the release point has been outside of that crease. The goal has stood, but you can fall into it. They've actually introduced that for the women's as well. So if you do fall into the crease after the shot, it's as long as it's the shooter, the goal still stands. Whereas in the tennis side, it doesn't.
You can see fans bundling up here for the cold and the wet weather. Everyone's got umbrellas and rain tarps here today. No other way to survive out there. 18 seconds left to go in the third. Swift looking to clamp the door shut right now. Looking for the shot. On the corner. Got it.
Beautiful
Rifled.
riser. Nice little low to high there.
I don't think there's much Elliott Pugh can do about that one.
Nope.
Good shot from Austin Holgate there, number 19 for Swift. Time running out. Forge need to get the shot off. Brooks lays it on the deck and no. And now we're going to head into the break for the fourth quarter. Swift up by 7, and they've just taken full control here in the third quarter, Annie.
Absolutely. They're pulling away with this one. I think Forge came into it in the second half of that last quarter, looking a little bit better, but I think, yeah, it looks like Swift after this.
You can see in the huddle, Swift happy with what they've got. Coach is telling them just make sure, calm down, stay on top of things. You got plenty of time left. Just make sure to finish things off well here. I think that's what their focus is going to be, just making sure to bleed out the clock, continue what they've been doing. It's cliche to say continue, of course, but they've been doing a great job with that. And actually, speaking of that, let's head over to the bench now. Our sideline reporter, Chris, with Matt Boyd on the Swift bench.
I'm here with Matt. Matt, you scored that absolutely sensational goal. Will you talk us through it?
Oh, well, ball came down, gave it me. I didn't even know he was going to give it me. A turn around and it was right on the goalie. So, first thing that came to my head was throw it behind my back, and it went in, luckily. So, still out of breath from it, to be honest. But yeah, it was a good goal, good goal.
How many years of practice does that take to score a goal like that?
About 15, believe it or not. It's better than my left hand. So,
So 15 years of lacrosse. How are you finding the six-a-side format of it?
yeah, it's good. It suits me. It's a shorter field for starters, up and down, action packed, really good.
12-5 up at the half. What do you need to do to close this game out?
Keep doing what we're doing, spinning the ball around, keeping the shape, keeping moving, and put the ball in the back of the net.
Well, good luck for the second half, and hope we see some more sensational goals from yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, mate.
Welcome back to the commentary booth. 8 minutes left to go. Atticus Pete here, joining you along with Annie Seaborn as well. Annie, a former Wales international lacrosse player of her own. Annie, I think we've seen so far, obviously, Swift winning this game by quite a bit right now, up by 7. Where do you go if you're Forge? How do you get back in this game? Where does it start?
Just do all the simple things right. I think they've got to work hard. They've got to last 8 minutes of the 3-day weekend. Just do all they can. Put it up, hustle hard.
Hustle hard, I like that. Hustling hard here at the Fly, looking to come away with anything they can ahead of their final 8 minutes left in the tournament for them. Swift moving it around, taking all the time they want. Humphreys on the turnaround, spins and knocks it in.
That was great positioning right in the top center.
Didn't even need to look. You could just see it coming out of his stick. You knew exactly where that was going to go, and so did he. Brooks forced behind the crease. He'll have to reset things. We've seen this quite a bit for Forge. They've just never been able to get close. Looking again. What can they do? Rolling it around. Porter with it. Goes behind. Oh, boy, and a bad pass.
Unforced error there.
We've seen a few unforced errors today, Annie. You think that one's a rain error or just a end of the game, a bit of tired legs?
That's an end of the game, tired legs error, head down error.
There you go. Oof. That shot saved right off the stick by Elliott Pugh. Maybe off his arm, actually.
Oh, he looks a bit injured.
Oh. I'm not sure where it hit. I thought it went right off his stick.
I think it's off the ear.
Oh, man.
He's still smiling, though.
Well, I'm happy about the positivity. Hopefully Elliott Pugh is okay. Took a shot after that one there. Pugh's a England box player, played in the World Indoor Lacrosse Championships with England just a couple of years ago. He's actually a science teacher, a head of science. So teaches science, wants to be a rugby referee when he retires as well. So I think he's getting ready for that in the right way, Annie.
Absolutely.
Looks like the Forge aren't too concerned. I think they know. Elliott Pugh's going to be okay. He's putting his gloves and helmet back on. He looks like he's all right. Pugh's a tough guy.
He's crazy enough to go in goal. He's still smiling.
If you're crazy enough to get in goal, you're crazy enough to stay there, even after a hit like that.
Absolutely.
And away we go. 6.5 minutes left to go in the tournament for both these squads in the men's third-place match. Live here on the Fly, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok channels. Alhage, far side. Calling for help. They'll go behind the net. No. Running it back. Ball on the deck, picks it back up. Moving it around. Can they get the shot away? It's up and wide. Holgate couldn't knock it in. So in this case, Annie, we've seen Swift have taken 30 seconds or more on their plays, and it's just made Forge, they've punished Forge every time offensively. What can you do if you're Forge to stop that here?
You can either look to kind of double team potentially, but the thing is, I just don't think they've got the legs for it. I think they're too tired. to start pushing out really high. They've just got to make sensible decisions now with their there we are, another lost ball, unforced error. Sensible decisions when they're in attack, but unfortunately it's another turnover.
Turnover is a key part of the story here for Forge today. Swift trying to get some more. Moving around, can they get another? Looks like we've got a foul call there. Looks like getting inside the crease. And that's going to be Forge ball. That foul going to be called on Glenn Humphreys. Forge will slowly move this one forward. Just looking to see what they can do towards the end of this game. Still to come, we have the women's and men's championships to follow. The women's championship will follow this one, and the men's championship later today end things up here at Lilleshall National Sports Center. Loses the ball. It's on the ground.
Turnover.
Another turnover, Annie. Away we go. Corey Carver, 2-on-1. Carver hands it off with the shot, waiting, fakes out Pugh 3 times, and knocks it into the back of the net once again. Austin Holgate.
Not much that Pugh can do.
Holgate, fun fact for you, on the 2016 college lacrosse all mustache team, and then a goal
Straight
there,
in there from
for
Longley.
Forge.
Beautiful. Hat trick for Longley.
Well done
Coach
there for Joe
showing how
Longley.
it's done.
No kidding. See, I talked about the mustache hair for Holgate and Longley with the long hair. That's what the
Look
connection
good,
was.
play good.
Nice. Suffering a bit in the rain, though. Forge at the top with Aaron Duckworth. I hear the calls of Ducky throughout the game frequently. That's what they all call him. Moving. Top. Time running out. Seconds to go with the shot. Deflected over by Pugh. And Swift do well. They'll keep possession of the ball once again.
Off a defender stick, I imagine. Nope.
I guess not. I'm not sure how. Clearly saw that one deflect. Alhage refuses to give the ball up. He doesn't like that call, and eventually he will. Strange. I clearly saw that ball go off somebody on Forge's stick.
Unless they believe it came off the goalies, in which case it counts as a save.
So away we go again. Forge. Can they respond? What can they do here before the end of their tournament with Matt Hill? Hill's going to come off the field, actually. Brooks with it.
Longley, top goal scorer for Forge, subbed on.
Summers will jog out to the back.
Taking it wide.
In the hole and misses it.
Tried a little alley-oop.
That one's going to be Swift ball once again. Haven't seen many of those plays here today, Annie. At the top. Moving around. Holgate.
Going for the wind-up. Nope.
Holgate's being hit everywhere. On the arm. Slapped again in the thigh. Can he lose it? He does lose it. It's on the deck. Carver's got it. Corey Carver. Got it to Josh Clegg. Clegg fakes. They got to get a shot away soon here. Deflected and out.
So you'll see, as I said, a lot more physicality in this match. The rules theoretically are meant to be a bit dampened down from the full field game, but they are still allowed to do little checks as long as it's to the kind of the glove stick area, unless the attacking player is moving their body to protect the stick and it hits another part of their body, which is obviously a lot different to the women's. Oh,
That shot.
got his hands free, but didn't. Nice little save.
Nothing there. Well, you mentioned, Annie, as well. The men have let, in the men's game, the umpires have let quite a bit go.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been able to hit each other throughout, and it's been a very physical game. I think you mentioned the referees have said it's just been a hard transition between the 10s game and 6s. They're letting a lot more go than maybe they should.
Absolutely. I think in both, it's kind of finding a middle ground between the women's and the men's. So in the men's field game, most fouls... Oh, close attempt of a behind the back. In the men's games, most fouls will end up in kind of being taken off.
Sure.
In the full field game. So they kind of let a lot more go. Whereas in the women's, you call minor fouls, but it doesn't necessarily mean it being sent off.
Yeah.
Whereas here, you do get sent off for the minor fouls, even if it's just for 30 seconds. So I think it's finding that middle ground between making the men's a little less aggressive, but the women's kind of reining it in from those minor fouls and finding that balance between calling things up and not calling too much up to disrupt the game.
Yeah. Well, more things to be done to get there, of course. Obviously, 6s lacrosse is a new format, really, for the game. All new rules, all new possibilities as well. Hopefully getting this to the Olympics That is the goal. And we got a timeout called here by Swift with 1:03 left to go. So Swift on top by 8 goals, 14-6. They've effectively dominated Forge today, and they'll walk away with 2 wins out of the tournament, both over Forge. I think if you're Swift, there's a lot to be proud of. What's your main takeaway from this tournament for Swift, Annie?
I think they've done a great job. As I said, both teams have really struggled with injuries. Forge more so, but Swift, compared to the other 2 teams left in the tournament, have struggled, and they've done an excellent job. And there have been some wonderful goals and defensive moments. And also, it's just great to see people like Clegg, 16 years old, absolutely shining, taking his own. And he gets to play with some of the most experienced players in Britain. So things like that, it's great to see the development of these players.
When you let a 16-year-old do all of your draws in a 6v6 competitive tournament, I'd say that's a good sign of success right there. Got a good future ahead of him, does Josh Clegg.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Actually, for Clegg, this was his first season starting senior lacrosse at Rochdale. That team went undefeated with the perfect season. So nothing but success for him so far.
Oh,
Speaking of, good save from Pugh there off of Clegg's shot. 50 seconds to go in the tournament for both these teams. Long pass to intercepted. Alhage on the run. Goes past the check. Trying to move inside. And then he's shoved over. Looks like he's not going to call it. Alhage bodying up the defender. He's being pushed back heavily here.
They're going for the double. Nope, resetting.
Swift running out of time. About 8 seconds left to go. Alhage needs to get rid of it. He will. Drive, looking for the shot, in the hole, can't get it off, finally does, off the bar, out, and Forge ball, and we've got a shot clock violation there. Actually, I guess not. We've actually got a foul called. That one's going to be on. Number 34 for Forge,
Luckily,
Jack
I don't think
Brooks.
it's going to influence the match too much. There we are.
And they'll let the clock run out anyway. So 14-6, that's how things will end. 14-6, Swift defeat Forge in the men's third place game here at the Fly 2022. Swift with a strong performance, a great way to end their tournament. They did lose in the semifinals, but they dominated Forge here today, just like they did in the group stage, and they walk away with the win. Annie, your final thoughts on this third place game here today?
I mean, it's what we spoke about. It's what we expected to happen, for Swift to kind of pull away in the second half. But I thought it was a bit of a slow first quarter for both teams. 1 goal apiece, but it opened up. Lots of fantastic goals. Nice little cheeky behind the back for the fans. Brilliant game of lacrosse.
No kidding. Well, let's send it over now to the Swift bench with number 33 and assistant coach